Greetings, electrical engineering students. This is your spring advising meeting to prepare for the registration of fall classes, which you will do yourself in BandWeb. Plus, I'll cover some other details that you'll want or need to consider. If you have questions, feel free to write your questions down for later and stop in the advising office or email me. If you have your flow chart, pull it out for reference and take notes. Feel free to skip a slide if it does not pertain to you. There are many useful links and a lot of helpful information for planning your next year. Registration for fall classes opens Sunday, March 12th for athletes, veterans, and grad students, then for everyone else based on the number of credits they've completed according to the registration priority schedule. Your registration start date and time will be listed in your BandWeb. Plan your class schedule ahead of time so you can be ready to add classes to your fall schedule right at your registration start date and time. This is the best chance to get the sections you prefer. Fall registration will be closed April 2nd to the 4th and reopens 10 p.m. April 4th and remains open until fall classes begin. You will have a lot of time to adjust your schedules later if needed. Registration for summer classes is currently open. Track A classes begin May 8th and Track B classes begin June 26th. This page has helpful links for registration resources for you to click around later on. I will email the EE Advisee list a PDF copy of these slides with the activated links so that you can get to the detailed information you need. Follow your flowchart as much as possible to avoid having time conflicts with required courses. General education courses can usually be moved around. To identify the classes you'll take in next semester, check off courses you completed and courses you are currently completed. Circle your next set of classes following prerequisite orders. Be sure to schedule CS 1111 if you haven't completed it yet. CS 1111 is only offered in fall semesters. Decide if you'll take the accelerated linear algebra and differential equations courses like the flowchart shows, or if you prefer to take them at the normal pace in separate semesters. You could consider taking your next math course during summer, either at a community college or at Michigan Tech, either on campus or online. Pay attention to the course requirements and prerequisites, which you can link to by clicking the CRN in the schedule of classes. You cannot schedule a class if you have not completed its prerequisites. If you did not complete Calculus 1 or Calculus 2, try to take it during summer at your community college or through Michigan Tech. That might save you from adding a semester to your graduation plans. If you will have Calc 2 completed, consider taking the normal paced linear algebra and differential equations if you're not so strong in math. This might affect your prerequisite chain, so meet with me for more detailed planning of classes. For EEs, differential equations must be completed in order to take Circuits 2, EE 2112, and Circuits 2 is like a gateway to the junior level EE courses, so that could hold you up. In the semester that you take accelerated linear algebra and differential equations, be sure to schedule at least 14 credits. This is a financial aid safety net in case you need to drop one of them. If you're choosing General Education Core or Haas electives, be sure to verify that 1, it's a valid course on the General Education lists, and 2, it is not yet filled in your degree audit report. Otherwise, it may not count toward the degree. Electrical engineers who are considering a concentration get a copy of the flowchart for the EE degree with a concentration. A concentration is not required, and the flowchart you received at orientation week is the EE major without a concentration. CS 1111 is the required C programming course for electrical engineers. Take CS 1111 this fall if you have not yet taken it. It is not offered in spring semesters. If you're considering a computer science minor or double major with computer engineering or wish additional programming skills, then take CS 1121 instead of CS 1111. Or take CS 1131 if you have taken CS 1111 already. To register in CS 1131, take the CS Knowledge Assessment found on the CS Department website. If you'd like help deciding or planning regarding programming course selection, Read this slide again in the PDF copy emailed to you and then meet with me for planning help. To register in a calculus course, you'll need to choose a matching lab section such as L04 with R04 or L01 with R01. Schedule both CRNs or you'll get a registration link error. To register in CS 1111, choose any lab section with the lecture section R01 to avoid a registration link error. The CRN is the 5-digit course registration number that begins with 8 for fall classes. Each section of a course has a unique CRN. Some courses have a lab section that is required. When scheduling a course that requires a lab, enter both CRNs for the lecture and a lab section, otherwise you'll get a link error. Click on the CRN to view course descriptions, any restrictions, prerequisites, or co-requisites. The LEC-RES lab notation in parentheses in the course description indicates hours of lecture, recitation, and lab that go with a course. If you are taking the accelerated linear algebra and differential equations, register in both courses using 2 appropriate CRNs, 81104 and 81107. MA 2321 Accelerated Linear Algebra is taken in the first half of the semester, Track A, 4 days a week, followed by MA 3521 Accelerated Differential Equations taken in the second half of the semester, Track B. Linear algebra is the prerequisite to differential equations. Both sections are at the same time but in different parts of the semester so they do not conflict. Schedule a minimum of 14 credits in the semester you take the accelerated courses to keep full-time financial aid status. This is a safety net in case you need to drop one of these 2 classes. If you are not so strong in math or wish to take classes at the normal pace, take MA 2320 in the fall, then MA 3520 next spring. Linear algebra and differential equations are critical skills for success in future classes. This is the common approval and waiver form, which is used if instructor permission is required to register in a certain course, or if you get a registration error. Print this form from the Registrar's Office webpage or use the fillable form on their website. We also have printed copies in the ECE main office, IRC 121, and the advising office, IRC 131. If you decide to join an enterprise, most enterprises require the instructor permission to register every semester using this form. This waiver form is also used to waive class restrictions, which might be needed if you have a lot of AP or transfer credits. If you need to use a waiver form, complete the form, obtain the instructor's signature, and then take the signed form to the registrar's office, first floor of the admin building, or scan and email it to schedule@mtu.edu. If a class from another department is full, or if you wish permission due to a class restriction, contact the instructor of the course. However, you might want to also stop in my office and review it with me, or send me an email. For general education courses that are full, contact the instructor with this waiver form to request a seat. Some classes cannot be overfilled and some can. Also, watch often for a seat to open or look for a different section with open seats and rearrange your schedule. Watching often over summer for a seat to open is usually successful. Remember, registration will be open until classes begin. In some cases, you can postpone the full course to a future semester and take a different course, such as a general education elective, instead. Enterprise is joining a team and working on a project for the experience of it. Enterprise project work is not required. Enterprise project work is 1 credit per semester at the sophomore and junior levels and 2 credits per semester at the senior or 4,000 level. Students can practice business and leadership skills as well because Enterprise is like a consulting business run by students doing engineering and other projects for customers or company sponsors or for a competition. The ECE department runs 4 enterprises: Blue Marble Security or open source hardware, robotic systems, and wireless communication. You might try out enterprise project work for a semester, or you might wish to complete your engineering design requirements, which can be satisfied with 4 semesters of junior and senior level enterprise. Enterprise semesters are noted along the top of your flowchart. If you choose an enterprise and wish to register in fall, the instructor's signature is required on the approval waiver form. The instructor's last name, who is the enterprise advisor, is found in the schedule of classes. For the second year fall, you would register in ENT 2950 using the waiver form for permission. The checklist at the bottom of this slide will be helpful for enterprise registration and includes a link to the Enterprise Registration Guide, which tells you which enterprise course number to register in based on the number of semesters left until your graduation. All enterprises use the same course numbers, which are based on the number of semesters you have left on campus and are synced with the 4-year plan. If you have 6 semesters left on campus starting in fall, register in ENT 2950 in the section number that pertains to the enterprise you're joining. If you have 4 semesters left starting in the fall, register in ENT 3950. Each enterprise has a unique section number which is found in the schedule of classes. The enterprise advisor, who is the instructor, is the person you contact to have your approval waiver form signed for permission to register. This slide shows an example in BandWeb of where to key in CRNs to register in your chosen sections of classes. It is best to have all your sections chosen ahead of time, including any required labs or co-requisites, and then key in your CRNs as soon as your registration time opens for you. If you get registration errors or time conflicts that you cannot resolve, come into my office the next morning after your registration opened. If you have time to take a class during summer, you can take classes at Michigan Tech or another college near you. Michigan Tech offers some classes on campus and some online. Summer courses are a great way to get caught up if you are behind on the flowchart, get ahead, or lighten up a future semester's credit load. Your next math class or a gen ed course would likely be most advantageous. This slide shows a list of courses that you might consider taking during summer if you have time. You will need to check your college's summer offerings to find a class, then verify that it will transfer to Michigan Tech as something you need. Check the transfer equivalency system for a list of courses evaluated for Michigan Tech credit. If you are taking a class elsewhere in summer that is a prerequisite to a course you need to register in fall, notify transfer@mtu.edu. When the transfer office processes your notice, the summer course will be added to your record as in session or IS so that you can schedule your fall class. Some Michigan colleges will ask you to complete a guest application, which you can find on our registrar's office website. Use the transfer equivalency system to find courses from other colleges that have transferred to MTU in the past. If a course you'd like is not on the list, send the course syllabus or a link to it to transfer@mtu.edu and request a course evaluation. The grade does not transfer and is not included in your GPA. Only the credits transfer. A grade of C or higher is required to transfer credits to Michigan Tech. After completing a class elsewhere, you'll need to request that your other college send an official copy of your transcript to MTU, and you'll want to do that before fall classes begin as soon as you complete the course. Now we're talking about classes that you are currently taking and some of the course drop deadlines for spring. If you have a PE class on your schedule, attendance is factored into your grade. You cannot miss more than 3 times. It is too late to drop a Track A course. Track B courses can be dropped until March 15th without a grade on the transcript and until April 7th with a grade of W. After April 7th, Track B course drops are not permitted except in case of extenuating circumstances beyond the student's control. If you are considering dropping a course this semester, it's best to consult with your instructor and myself before making that decision. Meet with your instructor first to discuss progress and strategies to improve. If a student is earning an F grade, it's usually best to drop it, but again, it's best also to consult with the instructor and advisor. It is very important to understand how each of your courses is graded and what your grade is so far. First-year students will review your midterm grades in your My Michigan Tech after February 27th. If you decide to drop a course and you're a first-year student, use the first-year student permission form, which is available in the advising office and on the registrar's office Prepare for Registration webpage. Under Forms, give yourself time to meet with and collect signatures a few days in advance of the March 24th drop deadline. The last day to drop a full semester course is Friday of week 10 for a grade of W. A W grade is for withdraw and does not affect the GPA. No course drops are permitted after 5 p.m. March 24th unless there were extenuating circumstances beyond the student's control. In that case, a student needs to work with the Dean of Students' office and provide documentation of circumstances. If something happens to you, such as an illness or family emergency that causes you to miss 3 or more consecutive days of classes, contact the Dean of Students' office as soon as possible, even if you're not planning to drop a course. To drop a course, if you are not a first-year student, just send an email to the registrar's office at schedule@mtu.edu. Classes may be repeated for a higher grade. The most recent grade is used in your GPA calculation, and the prior grade is no longer factored in. For an example, if you repeat a course that you earned a D grade, but earned an F the second time, it's the F that counts. You cannot go back to the previous grade. So, if you repeat a course, take it very seriously, and do not try to breeze through it since you, quote, already had it. Don't assume you know something from before because it is familiar. Start from scratch. Students are allowed 3 attempts to pass a course. A W grade from a withdraw does not count as one of these 3 attempts. For a third and final attempt at a course, use the third attempt permission form found on the registrar's office webpage under Forms to seek permission to register for that third attempt. Please note that a D grade is a passing grade. If you earn a D grade, it might be best to repeat that course before moving on to the next. However, that is not required. The ECE Department's ITC Learning Center is located on the first floor of the IRC building in room 123. It is open 24/7 as a quiet and convenient place to study and do homework. Coaches are available Sundays through Mondays from 6 to 8 p.m. and Monday through Thursday afternoons 1 to 4 p.m. Some coaches may use Zoom for remote help if they or you prefer. The best place to get help is with your instructor during their office hours, and the Learning Center will supplement that. Most academic departments have a Learning Center, including math, physics, chemistry, mechanical engineering, computer science, and engineering fundamentals. The Writing Center in Walker 107 can help with writing and communication assignments in any class. Be sure to check out all of these opportunities that you might be interested in. The EE degree has 5 concentrations available, including photonics and electric power engineering, biomedical applications, environmental applications, and enterprise. You might add a minor if you have a strong interest in subjects from another department. Some minor courses may double count with the major as applicable. Some helpful enterprise links are repeated here. Co-ops are not required but highly recommended, same with summer internship jobs. I encourage you to update your resume and attend the next career fair. Keep in mind we have an accelerated master's program as well as master's and PhD programs. Check out the study abroad and study away options if you wish. For help with stress and dealing with life issues that interfere with success in your classes or college life in general, visit our Success Center and/or the Center for Mental Health and Well-Being, and try the MySSP app, which is connected with our Center for Student Mental Health and Well-Being. I included the links for all of the learning centers here. And if you're considering a major change or adding a minor or double major, find the advisor of the program in the list of academic advisors and meet with the advisor of the program you wish to add or change into. Then, to officially request to change your major or add a minor or double major, submit your curriculum update request via the link in My Michigan Tech Current Students tab. It is critical to start becoming familiar with your online degree audit report, which you can run anytime in your My Michigan Tech under Current Students Academic Information. I recommend running and reviewing your report before and after registration of your classes each semester to ensure you've selected courses that count toward the degree. It is also important to review your degree audit right before the next semester begins to catch any mistakes and double check everything. When you open your degree audit report, click on the link Open All Sections just under the bar graph. The pie chart shows an estimate of number of credits remaining. And remember that it is just an estimate. It is usually close but not always accurate. Therefore, it is imperative to review each section individually to see which requirements are being met and which are left to be fulfilled and how many credits you need in each area. Lists of electives are included in the areas where needed. Once you complete a section, you will see a solid green check mark. A green outline of a check mark means that you are currently taking classes that will complete an area. A red X means the area is not yet fulfilled and additional courses are needed. The engineering design area has two options, one for senior design, which is 4 credits, and one for enterprise, which is 6 credits. The number of approved electives varies based on which path you choose to rebalance the credits. With the senior design path, 3 credits of approved electives coursework is needed, and with the enterprise path, 1 credit is needed. Both areas total 7 credits, and these are usually shaded pinkish on your flow chart. You only need to look at the area that pertains to the path you choose, senior design or enterprise, and you can ignore the other one, which will disappear from the report once your chosen path is completing. Expand each general education section to see what is yet to be fulfilled. You can click on a course number to see its title and description. The core area appears first, followed by then 12 credits of Haas areas. There is a check to verify you've chosen at least 6 credits of upper-level Haas that are numbered 3000 or higher. The co-curricular activities requirement is listed below that. Near the bottom of your audit report is an area called Courses Not Used to Complete Degree Requirements with a red X. This is where invalid courses or extra courses such as excess transfer credits or invalid elective choices will be listed, so be sure to review this area each time you change your schedule. During the initial registration period beginning March 12th, I will take mostly walk-ins for quick registration questions, course drop advice, and concerns with difficulties. My door is open when no one is meeting, and feel free to wait if there is a line. I may have a few appointment slots out there, but mostly just walk in. Try to register in your chosen sections as soon as your registration opens. If you have a registration problem that you cannot solve, please come to my office the next morning for help. I also take emails, but there could be a delay in replies during these weeks. For longer range of planning, future semesters, minors, co-ops, and etc., please wait until after April 3rd to come in, either walk in or by appointment. Review these slides as needed, which have been emailed to the EE list, and use the activated links to get you to the information you need. One more thing, practice reading your degree audit report. Open all sections and review them, especially every time you change your schedule and before fall semester begins. The end.